Hello everyone, and welcome to episode 2 of my Skyrim Mod Showcase series. This one is dedicated to all the mages and wizards out there who may feel that their arsenal is lacking uniqueness and their character pizzazz. Going on ahead, the ENB I'll be featuring for this video and next week's quickies is MariENB. Now, this particular ENB isn't like most others. It doesn't serve a specific purpose as far as looks or lighting or shading goes, but rather, it's a template of sorts. The author hopes that people will take advantage of the large array of settings she shoved into it and mold them into something even more beautiful. It doesn't seem particularly strong at changing the look of the world by itself, but anyone can play around with it and get a look they want. Everyone knows that any mage or alchemist worth their grit has a place of their own in which to practice and experiment with their skills and abilities. The player is no different, so why should they be stripped of this vital prestige? To make up for such a blunder, I present to you Underhyll, a small, rustic, stone-carved in-hill cottage just outside the borders of Shore Stone. The outside may look simple, but it's just as uncluttered as you'd expect from someone who lived in such a unique location. Making our way to the front of the house, you'll notice the small burning tray, a small nightshade garden, a ladder off to the right of the entrance, and the stone head above the doorway. I think this piece gives the overall feel a bit of uniqueness and sets in stone the type of atmosphere the house is meant to exude. Further to the right of the ladder are two small ramps that take you up to the roof of the house to a small space that contains an anvil, a tanning rack, a few bottles of meat and wine, and a spot to sit and relax. Going up higher will introduce the house's chimney and an apiary. There are also a few collectible ingredients up here: jazzbay, hanging moss, fly amanita, and an egg. There may well be a few bees buzzing around as well, so try not to miss them. The inside of this player home is where things really start to shine. The mood and lighting, as well as the clutter, will give you a feeling of wisdom and experience. The moment you start to look around is when you realize what this mod is all about and whether or not it's the kind of place you'd stay and use. Upon entering, there is an alchemy lab to the right. An apothecary satchel sits here, ready to store any spare ingredients you may have, and there are also two books sitting on it that both give you a level in alchemy: Song of the Alchemist and Herbalist Guide to Skyrim. It's a nice kickstart to make you feel more like you were meant to be here. Next to the lab is a small shelf holding a Centurion Dynamo Core, a few books, as well as some blisterwort and leeks. A Shrine of Talos also sits atop this shelf, so you can cure any diseases you may get while searching for ingredients around Skyrim. Opposite the lab is a cupboard holding a few bugs in jars: a bee, moth, butterfly, dragonfly, and torchbug. Heading to the back of the room, there is a cooking spit, a hearthfire oven, and an arcane enchanter. There's nothing specifically worth pointing out here, although the wall mounts are pretty well placed and help to remind you that you aren't in a village somewhere. Moving right along to the bedroom, there's a simple bed for sleeping, a large map on the wall, a chest and wardrobe to store various items and clothing, and a sweet roll. All around, I believe this player home is very fitting for the location and purpose it seems to be for. The clutter is competent and not too out of tone for the setting, and the location is quite natural. Do you like magic? Do you enjoy sneaking or fighting up close? Do you feel like you were meant for something greater in this world? Do you believe looking the part is just as important as being the part? If your answer to any of these questions is yes, then you're going to love Linds standalone robes. This clothing pack contains 3 individual robes that each have their own look, playstyle appeal, and different requirements to craft. 2 of them also have armored and unarmored versions. First are the Spell Thief robes. These dark, stealth-ready robes require you to have at least the 2nd rank of stealth in the sneak skill tree. There is a light armored variant of these robes with 41 armor in all. Next up are the Royal Warlock robes. Red and gold, these robes are a symbol of a highly ranked offensive mage. Requiring the Apprentice Destruction perk, you're expected to represent this garb accordingly. Finally are the Battle Mage robes. Green, black, and gold are the colors present on these robes. The normal version requires the Mage Armor perk from the Alteration tree to craft, while the Heavy Armored variant, which has an armor rating of 48, requires the Enchanter perk to craft. These robes fit very well into the setting and are very nice and neat to wear. The addition of the armored robes that fit their titles is an extremely nice feature. They give the player some individuality while not being outlandish and out of place. Has your magic been lacking? Ever wondered why you can't keep a few magical tomes close to help boost your abilities when you need them? Look no further than Equippable Tomes, a mod that adds the ability to wear 2 spell power augmenting tomes on your waist. A handy addition to any self-respecting mage's arsenal, and a fashion statement of knowledge. Anything from ragged and easily made to skillfully bound and difficultly crafted. To get started with this mod, head into Dragon's Reach in Whiterun, and to the right of the staircase will be a small station. Using the sage crafting table there will allow you to create your own magical tomes to wear. To the right of the table is a small book called The Art of Sage Crafting that explains this process and what it is, so it will fit into the immersive player's game without adding a random unexplained aspect. To the left, you'll find 2 rolls of paper, 2 leather strips, 2 leather, and 2 unenchanted tomes, Destruction and Restoration. This gives you everything you need to make your first tome except for a soul gem. You can create anything from a novice tome to a master tome of the same or various types. The size of the soul gem required to bind a tome depends on the rank of it. Increases in ability are from 10% to 50%. You've also been given the option of using unenchanted versions if you simply want the look they give. It is also possible to buy or find these tomes from any merchant or loot spot that initially contained magical robes or enchanted jewelry. There are also 8 special tomes hidden around Skyrim with their own special abilities. A few of them even affect things like weapon damage and sneaking. The aesthetic and purpose of this mod definitely fits seamlessly into the setting of the game and deserves a spot in any mage's heart. Mages carry around many tomes, spells, and soul gems, but where do they all go? Having them disappear into an infinite, unexplained void is all but immersive. Mage Backpack aims to fix that by being both utilitarian and aesthetically accurate. It adds 70 carry weight while also giving you a small resistance to all magicka. However, acquiring such a magnificent piece of equipment is no easy task. You'll need to procure a special ingredient from a special creature. So head into the Archmage's quarters and over to the safe. On top of it is a note that adds some lore to the backpack and tells you of the creature and ingredients needed. Now just head over to Brood Cave, charge inside, and kill the Mud Monolith. Loot his corpse for the magicka powder, then fast travel to the nearest tanning rack to craft the backpack. You'll need a moonstone ingot, 3 leather pieces, 3 leather strips, wisp wrappings, and the magicka dust. With these materials combined, you now have a mage's backpack. This pack is the perfect tool for a traveling mage or a court researcher who needs space to put all of their scrolls and tomes when they travel to other holds. It looks good, has a use, and fits into the lore of the game as not to break immersion. Is it kind of annoying to be able to build your character however you want, but still have the same spells and colors for your hero? Look no further than Blue Fire Magic to spice up the megalomaniac that you are. This simple blast of color to the game adds 10 new blue fire spells, plus 10 more that do frost damage instead. A few of them follow the same naming schemes as the original spells, but some others have their own names. Going in alphabetical order is Azure Flame, Blue Fire Rune, Blue Fire Storm, Blue Fireball, Blue Fire Bolt, Blue Flame Cloak, Blue Flames, Blue Purgatory, Sapphire Blaze, and Sapphire Inferno. This mod is for anyone looking to add a little bit of interest and individuality to their mages. And from me, that's all for today. Don't forget to subscribe for more, and please share the video if you liked it. Thanks for watching.